Alright, this one is yet another Motorola smartphone. This time we got the Motorola Edge 50 Fusion. Now this one has a 144Hz display, a big 5000 mAh battery, and you can take videos with 4K resolution. And if we're talking about the price, this phone is just about half of the price of the Motorola Edge 50 Pro at just 350 euros over here in Germany. So today we will take a full tour of this phone, and let's start with the unboxing. Alright, so the first thing that will pop up is the smartphone itself. So I got the hot pink version, but you can get it in a few different colors as well. Now, all the way down at the bottom of your box, you will find the 68 watts fast charging brick and a USB Type-C charging cable. By the way, you will also get a plastic case, and this one has the same color as the phone itself. So this one's actually pretty cool. As well as we will of course get some of the paper stuff and the SIM card remover, and that's about it. So let's get on with the design and the specs. Now, as I just told you, you can get this phone in a few different colors. Now, I got the hot pink version, but you can also get it in the colors of forest blue and marshmallow blue. Now, the only difference between those three colors is the material on the backside. The pink and the marshmallow blue version have a vegan leather back, and the forest blue one will come with a plastic backside. But all of them will come in at the same price. Now, something what I really like about this phone are the cameras. So you get a 50 megapixel main camera which can shoot videos in 4K resolution and 30 FPS, and you get an ultra wide angle shooter, and both of these cameras don't stick out at all. They are basically flush with the rest of the backside. So I mentioned you get a vegan leather back, but only a plastic frame and a glass front with Corning Gorilla Glass 5, and all that weighs in at the weight of around 175 grams. Now, looking at the side of the phone, you can see that the backside and the front display curves around towards the plastic frame. And something that you gotta know right here is that even though you have a curved display, you will still get some rather large bezels all around the phone, which is a bit thicker on the bottom side. Now, a few things that you have to know about the display is that you get a large 6.7-inch P-OLED display with full HD plus resolution and a 144Hz display, which you can trim down to 120 or 90 Hz to save some of your battery life. Honestly, I don't really see the difference between 144 and 120 Hz. Now, this phone also gets very bright with a peak of 1600 nits, which is good enough to watch all of your films in the middle of the sun. And I mean, you also get the full HD plus resolution and the OLED display, which will give you some inky blacks, vivid colors, and a good contrast. Now, the only downside are the bezels all around this phone, and the selfie camera in the middle really doesn't get in the way. As for your audio, you get a pair of stereo speakers, which will get loud, and the quality of the sound is great as well. Now, the only thing that you have to know that you have no headphone jack, and you have to use the USB Type-C connection on the bottom of the phone. So that's how it sounds like. 3mm version and a larger 44mm one. But which size? You of course also have Dolby Atmos like with most Motorola smartphones with a few pre-music settings, but you can also create a custom one and play around with the equalizer. Next, we got the battery life, and the Moto Edge 50 Fusion has a 5000 mAh battery, which is actually great. In just 10 minutes of charging, you will get back to 20% of your battery life, and if you want to top it off, it will take about 50 minutes. So it's actually quite fast thanks to the 68 watts turbocharging. Overall, you can expect this phone to last about a day and a half, maybe sometimes just a day, but it always depends on your usage. Now, the last thing that you have to know right here is that you have no wireless and no reverse wireless charging. Alright, next up the features, and first up the storage. Now, you can get this phone with only 256 gigs of internal storage here in Germany, which is not expandable via an SD card. So looking inside of the storage settings, we will see that about 12 gigs are already occupied by the system, so that's pretty much normal. The next thing is the fingerprint sensor, which is underneath your display, and let's give this one a try. And this one works just great. And you also have a face detection, and this one works good as well. Now, one bad thing, which is always a thing with Motorola smartphones, are all of the pre-installed apps that you have, like you get Block Puzzle, you have Block Blast, Happy Color, Brain Test 3, and a lot more. And it always takes a second until you can delete them, since you always have to go into the app info, and right here you can deinstall it. Just a little bit annoying. Now, this phone also has some gesture controls, like you can shake to turn on and off the flashlight, you can double press the side button so you can have quick access to your camera, but you can also twist your phone, and this will do the same trick. Now, you also have a sidebar with some of your favorite apps, a one-handed mode, and a 3-finger screenshot, so all very basic features. Then you have some Moto-specific apps like Family Space, which creates a space for your family members with only a selected set of apps like for your kids, so you can only activate the camera and some of the gaming apps. Then there is the Ready 4 to connect your phone to other devices so you can stream your videos on there, and the Moto app. Right here you can change and personalize your phone a little bit more. You can change the text size and the font. There are different fingerprint animations that you can choose from, like this radial wave, boomerang, and chroma dial. You also have different edge lightings with a few different colors, and a little cool feature is also the attentive display. Like this, it won't dim or turn off your display as long as you keep looking at it. And one last thing that you have to know is that you can't change the color of your display. By default it is set to vivid, but you can also change it to radiant or natural. Alright, next I got the performance and the gaming. So the Moto Edge 50 Fusion runs on Android 14 and comes with a Qualcomm Snapdragon 7S Gen 2. And this one is more than good enough for your daily usage. Everything just runs super smooth and you can open up apps and tabs without a delay. Now, when it comes to the gaming, I was trying out Genshin Impact once again, and you can play on medium settings without a problem without the game booster. Now, if you scale it up to high in highest settings, you can still play without a delay without the game booster. So you can actually play every game on the smartphone. Now, I mentioned that you have a game booster which will give the smartphone a boost in the performance, or you can put it in the battery saving mode. You can turn on the D&D mode, take screenshots, or open up apps in the floating window. So everything that you would expect of a game booster. So let's talk about the camera. So you gotta do a camera setup, and the main camera, this one takes pictures with 50 megapixel, and you can shoot videos in 4K resolution and 30 FPS. Now there's also a 13 megapixel ultra wide angle camera, and on the front you will get a 32 megapixel cam, which can only shoot videos in 1080p and 30 FPS. While you're recording, you can switch between the normal and the ultra wide angle camera, but you will have a big drop down in the video quality. As for your pictures, the only bad thing is that you cannot capture moving objects that good, and they turn out to be a bit blurry, and besides that, pictures will look good. They are vivid, are not oversaturated, you have a good contrast in the detail level, and that goes for your main and for your ultra wide angle camera. Both are actually really good in my opinion. Then there is also a macro camera, and like always I tried my best and pictures turn out to look great as well. When it comes to your portrait shots, I'm once again a big fan of this camera. The ones with the main camera have a good background blurriness with nice poppy colors, and the selfie camera is alright-ish as well. I just look a little bit pale once again, but I might just need a little bit more sun, and this will fix things. You can also zoom in with 2x and pictures will still look good, but you can definitely not do the 10x. Pictures like that will look very bad and blurry. So this smartphone also has a few different camera modes. So like I mentioned, there is the portrait mode, and right here you can change the background blurriness with a slider and choose between 24, 35 and 50 millimeter. So you have a small zoom right here as well. Then there's a pro mode, a scanner, night vision, dual capture, and a few more. And by the way, that's how a selfie video looks like. Alright, so right now I'm recording with my selfie camera, and it's not only capable of doing 1080p, but you can also record in 4K resolution, but only at 30 FPS, but it still looks good. And guys, there we have it. That's the Motorola Edge 50 Fusion. Now, if you like that video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to my channel for more tech reviews. And I guess with that one being said, I will see you in the next one. Peace.